again, everybody. It's Todd Staruch, the horror nerd, here at Groundhogzilla, otherwise known as I Heart Horror Part 3 in Sayreville, New Jersey. I'm here with the horror community supporting a great charity, the Deborah Heart and Lung Foundation. I am having a blast today, hanging out with friends, making new friends, and I get to spend time with a lot of people in the horror community. And the group I am with right now are people that I've known for a while, and they become such an integral part of the local horror community here with the Terrifier series and now Stream. Just a great group of people, and I'm having a blast that I get to talk to these guys today. So I'm going to go down the line. We've got Mike Leavy, Terry Alexander, Mark Haynes, and Marcus Slabine. Okay. Boom. I figured
Samsonite. I was way off.
If I tried a bunch of them, I'd get it right. Even though you just told me a few minutes ago. Yeah. So rather than rely on memory, I want the fans to get to know all of you. So we'll go down the line. Just introduce yourself and the part you play in the movies that we see here on the table. So.
Yeah, I'm Michael Leavy. I played Will the Exterminator in the original Terrifier film. Also producer and assistant director on Terrifier 2 and 3. And also the director of the horror movie Stream.
My name is Terry Alexander, and I'm in the movie Stream. I play Detective Hart, and I'm working with a fine group of men, the Fuzz on the Lens brothers. I talk about them all the time in my little podcast. It's so wonderful to work with them because they're fine actors, fine writers, and there's the director here. It's a beautiful experience to work with that kind of talent. It rounds you out, and it's very harmonious. So I'm glad I'm here with them.
And Day of the Dead. Come on, tell them.
Oh yeah. I did a little movie back in the day called Day of the Dead.
Indeed.
It's a classic. George Romero wrote it and directed it, and it still stands up today as being one of the better movies of all time. There you go, baby.
All right.
What's up? My name is Mark Haynes, and I am player 4 in the movie Stream. And I haven't been in Terrifier yet, but so you might only recognize me from Stream so far.
Hey, I'm Marcus Slabine. I was the Sugar Skull bartender in Terrifier 2. I'm a script supervisor in Terrifier 3, producer on Stream, as well as production designer. I also an associate producer of Screamboat, which is coming out soon, and a few other projects as well. Director of the movie Sundown, coming out this year.
All right, so Marcus, I'm going to stay with you because I think I've actually known you the longest out of everybody because I screened your short film, Last Call, at my film festival a long time ago.
Yes.
So tell us how you became involved with the Fuzz on the Lens group to be involved with Terrifier and Stream, from being a filmmaker in your own right.
I just want to say it all started with the movie Hairspray.
He's actually not far off. The short version is we all worked on a film of a buddy of ours, Justin Ambrosino, and we met on this movie that had a very short shoot, and we kind of bonded right away because we figured out we knew a lot of the same people, and then they were releasing a film called, or working on a film called Abnormal Attraction. I was doing the film The Last Call with Terry Alexander over here. And we were just kind of showing up, supporting each other, helping each other out, with other films and stuff like that. And they started releasing. We became friends. And when Stream came along, they invited me on, told me that they respected my horror knowledge, which is very nice. And then, we really just connected. We found out that we really have, good chemistry with working together and everything else. So, yeah, and then got involved with that, Terrifier, and the rest is history.
Very cool. And Terry, I forgot just now that you were in Last Call, and the minute you said that, I'm like, now I remember the voice.
Yes.
So if those of you out there, if the film is available anywhere, you need to see the short film Last Call. It is very creepy and very effective. And I'm not saying that because he's sitting here. I really enjoyed it. That was back in the day when my festival was curated. So I just picked it because I liked it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm screening this. So Terry, tell me, how did you get involved with this group? Did they kidnap you like off the street and make you do it? Or?
No. From that gentleman right there and the last call and joining the group, I can't tell you how wonderful it's been to find a bunch of men. So I hope I can work for them more in the future. And the last call was a very fine experience for me. He brought me out of some strange place I was in. So it's been very beautiful. Very.
Excellent. So, Michael, we'll move on to you. So, being involved with the Terrifier franchise, what prompted you to say, okay, I want to direct my own movie. I want to write and direct my own movie, which then became Stream?
So it's funny, I always, as a kid, started with acting first and enjoyed it, but I was smart enough to realize I'm a much better director than I am an actor. Even though it's fun and I enjoy doing it, and I still do it from time to time, as I understood filmmaking and the creative process and getting people to do what I want. I can communicate that and respect the process. And so I actually directed a film before doing Terrifier, and that's how I got on Terrifier, called Abnormal Attraction. It's a comedy horror with Malcolm McDowell, Gilbert Gottfried, Tyler Mane, Leslie Easterbrook, Bruce Davison. I mean, a great cast for my first movie to direct. Unbelievable. Ron Jeremy. I don't really talk about that, but he's involved. Fun.
That did happen.
It did happen. Fun little role. He plays the Tooth Fairy. But on that project, I met Phil Falcone and then got involved with the Terrifier movies. But I got involved with the Terrifier movies as an actor, which is interesting. Will the Exterminator. And then through that and getting to know Damien, we're all from Staten Island a little more. They realized, our value in producing and production and all of that stuff. And I was also smart enough to realize the value in what was going on. So I said, if I'm dead, I got to do something with this franchise. So I started to produce and, become the AD. And it kind of just steamrolled there. We all realized our connection very quickly and our similarities and our passions. And we became the best of friends. And, from there, it just became a family best friend kind of situation immediately. I was just with Damien last night, and Marcus and Jason and Phil and George and everybody that's involved with the Terrifier and Stream world. But, we were developing Stream for quite a while. It was after I did a film called Penance Lane with Danny Roebuck, Tyler Mane, Scout Taylor Compton, and John Schneider, that I said, I want to do a horror film because I have this passion for horror. And it was before Terrifier it was like in that, before Terrifier 1, it was like in that same time. But then obviously Terrifier kind of takes over and we were developing Stream, and then, Terrifier 2 and we're developing Stream, and we're, and then finally it was like, okay, go time. We're going to make this movie. And everything happens for a reason in their own spots. And, and because of Damien and because of our experience with Terrifier, Stream became a lot gorier than we originally anticipated. And it's cool. It kind of became our signature now.
So that ends the "It's All About Me" portion of the interview. So, yes,
Todd, I've never been interviewed by you in a way that where I can talk. I have to crash your interviews.
Yes, you are.
So every time I have to say, "Please, someone has to." Please, I'm here.
You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, it's all good, man. That's awesome. So, Mark, we'll get to you. Tell us your story, how you became involved with these questionable gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, it was all fate, I guess. I've been an actor for at the point of the Stream, over 10 years, and it was just kind of a random casting thing that my manager sent to me, and I auditioned for it and booked it. But I think it was meant to be, because shortly after I'd been casted, I was driving my car and I stop at a rest stop and I see a big van that says Fuzz on the lens, just randomly. So, and I happened to bump into their other partner, Steven De La Sala, and just randomly at a rest stop in Pennsylvania. So I think that was like a sign that we were all supposed to meet and be together. So and then ever since then, we've all pretty much built up a pretty good relationship, and hopefully, I know I consider myself part of the family. I don't know if they consider me part of their family, but I think it's just it's been amazing to be part of such a good group of people.
One quick follow-up question. So, do you enjoy playing like a villain, like playing a heavy in movies?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty kind of typecasted with my build and everything of being like a certain type of character. But Stream was my first slasher, and ever since then it's opened up several doors for other movies and stuff. So I really loved the whole concept, and it's just I've had a blast doing it, because in real life I'm so mellow and I'm in the complete opposite, so I get a chance to
I certainly hope so.
So I get
Jeez.
I'm not a killer.
yeah. So I get a chance to you get a chance to show that other side. So.
Very cool. So we'll pass it on to Marcus for one more question. Given the enormous success of the Terrifier films, I just want to make a comment on that as an indie filmmaker myself, and this goes to all of you, it does my heart good, because it shows the movie world that horror is important and it can be successful. And it can do well, like in theaters. Like, people will go and people will see a movie that's violent and gory and crazy and over the top. So I want to personally thank you for that, because it really does open doors for the rest of us, to help ease that way, because people, tend to just dismiss horror and say, these are the horror movies. And look what happened at the Academy Awards. Like, The Substance got nominated for a bunch of awards, and Nosferatu, and I'm like, yes, horror. So there's a question coming. So what do you still see, Marcus, as the major hurdles or challenges in the indie film world? And you're not allowed to say money, because that's all of our struggle, right? Is like getting funding. So if you can't say money, then what would you say?
This is actually a great question, because honestly, I think it's finding someone that actually gives you that first chance. You know what I mean? Like, I think everyone starts somewhere. I mean, there was a time where nobody believed in Terrifier. You know what I mean? Until Phil Falcone and George Stuber came along, and and like Damien, got them to believe in it. You know what I mean? It's like I think it's trying to get somebody to actually believe in your crazy idea, because that's what we have. We all have crazy ideas. Everything is insane. You know what I mean? Like, but it's getting people to believe in that idea, to bring it to fruition, that you're capable of bringing it to fruition, and going out there and letting you be able to do it. The beautiful thing about the independent world, thanks to films like Terrifier, is like, the high tide raises all boats. So now people are looking at indie films and saying, well, this could be the next, indie darling, and this could be the next this, and this could be this. Whereas before, it was super hard to even get anything off the ground. I mean, you're a filmmaker yourself, you understand that. Like, it's impossible to get somebody to say, yes, like, let's go with this, let's do this. I know these people, and to me, I think that's like the hardest thing. And also money, you know what I mean? But then again, like, if you have the right people and you have the right crew, like I've got this family, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in the industry since 2008. I found these guys in 2015, and that's when we all started kind of getting together, kind of creating together, and it took me years to find that family. I had many families before, but they didn't we all didn't gel. Now it's like we have each other's backs no matter what the project, no matter what it is. You see us around, we hang out with each other, we love each other, we joke around with each other, we're brutal to each other, but at the end of the day, there's a love behind it, and I think that's something that if you have at your core, you look at any of the greats, it's all the family that they brought to the crew with them, and the talent that they did, and that's what it is. Make films with your family and your friends, the people that love you and have your back, and you will make something that you're going to be proud of, regardless of whether people like it or not. It doesn't matter. It only matters what you think. No one cares what sausage made. They don't care about how it tastes. So.
That's it, man. That's a good answer to that question. I love asking that question. And as soon as I say you're not allowed to say money, people are like, I was going to say money.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take that. One last question for you, Michael. Do you have a favorite moment or anecdote from Stream that happened on that set that you could share with us?
I'm actually interested in this.
Everything that's coming to mind is all things I can't talk about.
Oh, boy.
What was great about Stream is that in the most darkest of times, we were shooting in COVID, and you couldn't do anything. And we were so fortunate enough to have a movie that got some funding before COVID hit. And then we were all able to just kind of take a break from the reality of what was going on in these dark places to all come together and just create and forget. And that was something that was incredible. And then every day there were these superstars coming in, like Terry Alexander, Jeffrey Combs, Danielle Harris, Tim Curry, Dee Wallace, Tony Todd, right? And we had such an incredible cast of people that maybe we wouldn't have gotten if it wasn't for COVID, with busy schedules and what was going on. And, so it was something that we found this amazing bright spot to create horror and to create films and fantasy and whatever. And it was really an amazing thing that we were a part of. And we knew we were part of something special because, again, Terrifier 2, mind you, was not out yet. So we're shooting this movie. We don't know. Terrifier had some success, but it was very culty. It was Netflix and, thankful, but, it wasn't what it is today at part 3, 100 million beating Joker. That's wild. So it wasn't any of that. It was none of that. Even part 2 was, it was successful, 15 million, 20 million, I don't remember what it was, but in the box office, no one knew what this was going to be. So even Stream, we're figuring out who we are as filmmakers, and that was something that was really special. And to piggyback just slightly off of what Marcus had said, was the most thing I think all of us are proud of with the Terrifier franchise. The money and the accolades and the conventions, it's all cool. It's fun. It's great. You can keep going. But I think the thing that all of us are most proud of is that we've opened up a door for indie horror, for indie filmmakers in general. That's something at least I know that I'm very proud of, and I know we share the same with Damien, Marcus, Jay, Steve, George, everybody, Phil, is that they're getting the attention that they deserve. Because there's so many years, Stream would not have been in theaters at all. I'll tell you that right now, would never have been in theaters if it wasn't for what Terrifier did. And there's so many other movies like the Pooh Universe stuff and Screamboat and the Mean One and all of these other films that we now know about if it wasn't for what Terrifier did. So that is something we are most proud of, because finally we can see that you can make it and doing it your way and creating, and you can bust through that Hollywood door, and so keep trugging along.
I love it. That is a great answer. So Terry, one last question for you, but I'm going to switch gears a little bit and just talk about Day of the Dead for a second.
Okay.
Harkening back to what you said at the very beginning, that it stands the test of time. Why do you think that is? Why do you think, whatever it is, 40 years later, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but it's decades. People are still talking about that movie, and even young people know about the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Why do you think that is, that they stand the test of time so well?
Well, George created films that have great symbolism, and they grow on you as you grow as a person, and they are instilled within you, and that's what makes a classic. That's it for me about Day of the Dead. He says it was his best movie, and I'm so glad to be part of his best movie, although he's done many other things in time. But those classic proportions always are appreciated in time.
That is a great answer, and I feel the same way, because there's so many movies in general come out in a year, and so many horror movies come out in a year. For any movie to just be so well known and so iconic is an achievement. So, congratulations on being a part of that. So, all right. We're going to wrap it up. I don't want to keep you guys forever. So, Mark, I'll start with you, and we'll go across the way. What is your next thing? What are you working on next that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, so I got short film coming out called Swine and Dine. That's a horror slasher type thing, and then there's another slasher comedy called Amityville Barbie I've been working on. Then I have a part in a movie called Out Come the Wolves, and that'll be out probably in the summertime at some point. So
cool. Busy is good.
Yeah, trying, and streams opened up some doors to get me some more work and everything. So
that's awesome. All right. Same question, Marcus.
So I have a autobiography called. No, I'm just kidding. Currently, probably the most current thing is going to be Screamboat's coming out in theaters in August. April. Screamboat. So it's going to be at a couple of conventions coming up. So be sure to check that out. It's a goofy, funny horror comedy. I'm wrapping up a horror feature called Sundown. It's a found footage horror film starring Damien Maffei from The Strangers, Emily Sweet, Chris Alexander, Terry Alexander's son, and that we're finishing that up. That we're trying to get that out this year, and working on a few other little projects. I have a few shorts that are coming out, a couple of music videos that I'm doing, which I'm really excited for because it's going to be a horror music video. Nice. So lots of blood, lots of all that, and then I'm probably leaving something off the list. But aside from that, Stream 2, Terrifier 2, so, yeah.
Awesome. Terry, anything you're working on that you would like to talk to us about?
Not working on anything right now, but hopefully in the near future, it will be Stream 2.
Nice. All right. And we will wrap it up with you, Mr. Leavy.
So, breaking news, New Nightmare on Elm Street. Here I am, Freddy Krueger. I'm playing him. No.
Wow. I got the exclusive on that. I am impressed.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. NDA. No. That'd be great. I did play young Robert Englund in a movie once. No. Obviously, Stream 2, we're hoping we get to do that. And right now it seems like it's trending in that direction. So everybody, if you haven't seen it, check it out. That's going to help us do that faster. Obviously, Terrifier 4 is the thing that's happening. Damien just announced that the script is well underway. And also Screamboat coming out in April, as Marcus had said. And then we have a few other projects, other than just horror. We have some comedy things. We have some other horror stuff. We don't know which one we want to go with just yet because obviously we're focused on the Stream and Terrifier world. But there's a lot of opportunity right now going on, and it's really exciting, and we're going to keep it all in the family, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling.
Awesome. And one final comment. I just want to say that even as I got involved more in the indie film world here in New Jersey, I managed to align myself with people like yourselves who really do support one another. I always felt we are all in this together, right, in the indie film world, and we all have to help and support each other. So I'm glad I got to know all of you over the years. It's been a fun ride, and I look forward to whatever comes in the future. But if you crash my interview again, I'm gonna have to smack you.
Now they got one.
Please do it.
That's
how you go viral.
Catherine Corcoran still talks about that to this day.
That's why she hates me.
Well, I don't know if that's why. Good stuff, man. So Michael Leavy, Terry Alexander, Mark Haynes, and Marcus Slabine. Oh, look at that. Fuzz on the Lens Productions here at Groundhogzilla, I Heart Horror, supporting the Deborah Heart and Lung Foundation. This is Todd Sturridge, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.